Welcome to Agape, y'all. Look around and see who's swimming with you in this ocean of devotion, this magnificent sea of divinity, and be grateful that all these beings showed up, even though we lost an hour of sleep or we went to bed an hour earlier, whatever you did. Look at somebody sitting right next to you and just say, my. There is so much beauty in you. There is so much power in you. There's so much love in you. Intelligence runs all through you. God is all in you. And you have come to set it free, to make a mighty difference on this planet and to help change the world for the better. Let's be about this together in the here and now. And so it is. Amen. Touch and agree. Handshake, high five, hug, whatever it is. We're co-creating a living field, a resonance around excellence and beauty, a resonance, a coherence around divine intelligence and a perfect peace. As real as gravity, as real as electromagnetism, this field that you are creating and ultimately becoming a cohere with allows you to be impervious to the lesser frequencies of life, the lower thought forms that would seek to bring you down. You're in a high field of love and beauty and intelligence in a dogma-free zone. Look at your neighbor and say, we're in a dogma-free zone, baby. We're not hanging out with religiosity. We're hanging out in the spirit of the living, loving God that is everywhere in its fullness, and the totality of it wants to express through us by any means necessary. And so we open ourselves up in this dogma-free zone with the full awareness that this presence, which is never an absence, called by whatever name you want to call the presence, it doesn't care what you call it, as long as you call it forth as the activity of your awareness, you see? Call it God, call it love, call it intelligence, call it life itself. But it is wanting to know itself as your very life into being. So you have arrived here on the shores of Agape International to swim in the sea of divinity and to come to a soulful remembrance of as to who you are, so that you can navigate through the turbulence of the human incarnation, but actually surf on it in such a way that your life keeps getting better and better and better. What we know about the presence of God is that it is changeless, birthless, deathless. It is infinite, and it never compromises nor contradicts its nature. It is glowing, it's radiating, it's shining, it's giving of itself totally and completely. At every point of life, every point of creation, God is being itself. Therefore, as the theme would be this month, we're growing to be gracious enough to receive the presence of God. We're talking gracious. Look to your neighbor and say, I'm being gracious. I'm in receptive mode. Let us say that together right now. I'm gracious enough to receive. I am gracious enough to receive. I'm gracious enough to receive. Now, this is very, very important because the way we view the presence of God absolutely determines our relationship to it, determines how we pray. When our consciousness was myopic, when it was much smaller, we would take all of this power that's within us. Brother Alfred, I see you there, brother. I'm loving you totally and completely, and we're going to celebrate Hans this afternoon like nobody's business. Anyway, I just popped into my way. I saw Hans, so I had to see you. So as we consider how we think about God, that considers how we pray. When our consciousness was kind of myopic, we took all of this power that's loaded and coded within us, and we shot it way out there. And we would try to appease or please a deity out there. Generally, it was a man, because the whole divine feminine vibration was being oppressed. And so we shot God out there, and we would try to appease or please an external deity. But as we have expanded our awareness, We become aware that God is a presence and never an absence, does not come nor go in its totality. It is here, it is now. So we seek to commune with this presence. And we seek to feel and sense our oneness with this presence, because as Ernest Holmes indicated, the innermost God and the uppermost God, it's the same God. You see? So that which is within you is the same God that surrounds you and around everyone else. So our ability to receive, our ability to accept, our ability to be open allows for the presence of God, which is totally giving, to come into its own as each and every one of us. You are here to be masters at receptivity, availability, openness, so that you can circulate through your generosity and creativity this fullness of the presence in a way that has never, ever happened before, because you have never happened before. So we wouldn't say that we're blessed and highly favored unless everyone is blessed and highly favored, because you wouldn't go up to the appliance or the electricity and say, I'm blessed and highly favored, please let this toaster work. No, you plug it in, you become in alignment, it works. You commune with the presence of God, you say yes, you're available, it starts to work through you. This is your life on God, baby. This is it. And so a part of our topic today is moving from boredom to Moredom. Now understand this. When we gather here and we celebrate the presence of God, and celebration is so very, very important, because we're seeking to localize a cosmic celebration, enter into the field of celebrating the good that is everywhere present, so there can be a vibrational match to that which is trying to give to us. Am I talking too fast for you guys? Are you catching this? So the deal is you're being encouraged to practice, to have a level of practice of these spiritual principles every single day, so the level of embodiment takes place. Now, here's the deal. As you're practicing, as you're coming into, and let me just give you an aside here. So oftentimes people come into a metaphysical, heaven bent on mystical, spiritual community and ride on the vibration of the enthusiasm, but after a while realize in order to maintain and sustain that frequency, you got to get down like James Brown and practice. You've got to get down. You've got to study. You've got to pray. You've got to meditate. You've got to have high fellowship with high-minded people. You have to work a little bit inside of your soul. You got to till the soil of your soul so that you can embody this. Now, here's the deal. The egoic structure that wants to protect your present personality, it's whenever you're about to expand beyond your limited self, whenever you're about to take that small box vaccine and grow to your greater yet to be, it sends out signals to stop you. And one of those signals is boredom. It's like, I'm bored, I'm tired, I'm bored, I'm tired. Boredom is the effort that it takes to block creativity. That's what boredom is. And so the moment boredom comes in your spiritual practice, it means a breakthrough is afoot. It means that more of you is trying to come out. It means that there's something within you that's trying to emerge, but the egoic structure does not know the difference between the unknown and more of you and annihilation, so it seeks to stop it. The conditions of your life that you may try to change mentally are really asking you to grow beyond where that condition can affect you. What do I mean by that? Well, the caterpillar becomes a butterfly, and the butterfly does not have the same issues as the caterpillar. You see, within you, you may be bumping your head on a particular condition in life. You're not to go down and solve that condition, because that condition is a coagulated thought form that has condensed itself as a condition. The condition is saying, grow, baby. There's something in you that's bigger than this condition. So you want to grow from boredom to Moredom. Yeah, I made up the word, but you understand what I'm saying. You're here to say, I want to be more me. Say it, I want to be more me. Every condition is saying to you to announce, I want to be more me. I want to allow that which is invisible within me to begin to take over my life, so I'm becoming more of my real self. I'm not trying to solve the issue. I'm trying to dissolve the issue by becoming more of my real self. Your spiritual growth, development, and unfoldment is an adventure in self-discovery over and over and over again until you become impervious to the thought forms of the human condition and are carrying the high frequency of inspiration being shot from the mind of the infinite, because there's a vibrational match to what? To your growth and expansion and ever-increasing awareness of your oneness and isness with the great power and presence and the love of God. Look to your neighbor and say, I think he's talking to you, but I'm listening. Slap a high five with your neighbor. And so there are ways that everything is about consciousness. Everything is about expanding our awareness. So when boredom seeps into your spiritual practice, that means that there's something more of you trying to come out. And so when you feel it, you go from boredom to moredom. There's more of me. And then you check your awareness. You check and you see where there is any spiritual malpractice. In other words, you check to see, is there any way in which I am looking for my good from another condition or a person, and losing sight of the infinite invisible, which is the source of my supply. The moment I lose insight, that the presence of God, the invisible presence of God, that's invisible to the sensorium, but visible to the soul, if there is something within me in which I'm looking to that person, that condition, that situation to give me my good and my sustenance, I'm practicing, that's malpractice. And I'm hindering the flow, which is the source of all creation, from flowing through me. I know, and you know from the depth of your being, that all the good that arises out of you has come from no thing at all but a spiritual idea, locked and loaded within you, not from a condition, not from a circumstance, not from a person. And so many people end up leaving the planet thinking that the world owes them something, or that someone out there owes them something. No! You've got it all, you see. The acorn carries the invisible imprint in a powerful way of information of the oak tree. It's already in there, you see. And when that acorn is put in the right condition, then that which is invisible, indivisible spiritual ideation begins to emerge and blossom and bloom. You must be the right condition for that which is infinite within you. You must do this. Hit yourself in your thyroid, strengthen that immune system, and say, I got to do this. I got to be more me. I got to set myself free. Somebody scream about it. I was talking to one of my practitioners this week, and she was coming into a very high vibration and frequency of her abundance and her prosperity, and the next step of that unfoldment. I reminded her that her spiritual career, her practitionership, her workshops, her online community, all the things that in which she was blessing countless beings had its origin in no thing at all. That there was a moment where that was not in manifestation, and out of nothing but an idea and a willingness and an intentionality birthed itself into expression. Each of every one of you, there is something that's invisible to the sensorium right now. And if you're looking outside of yourself to make that happen, you're practicing that's a malpractice. You've got to become sensitive to the idea. You've got to become sensitive to the source. You've got to become sensitive to the presence. And so lean on it, that it demonstrates for itself in your life, or you will leave this planet bereft of knowing that everything you can want and hope for and desire, it's already within you, waiting for it to be set free like never before. Oh, somebody scream about it, please. Come into the dynamic of that kind of celebration. And then you check your mind and you realize where you have been rehearsing the very things you don't want to experience. What do I mean by that? Something happens, something you don't like. and then you vent about it. Now, venting is good once. But if you vent again to somebody else, that's called rehearsal, baby. And so you give yourself the opportunity to vent, to get it out. Do you know what happened today? That guy cut me off, and then they did this, and then she did this. You get it out, and then the next time you can't do it again. Because now you're rehearsing the very thing you don't want. And why do you rehearse it? Because you want to be right. Why do you rehearse it? Because you have a sense of righteousness about it. And after a while, you tell that story so many times, your body says, I guess this is what we want. I guess we want to experience this over and over again. All of these toxic chemicals going through the body temple, the immune system being compromised, the coherence of the brain falling apart, conditions for disease emerging. No, you do not want that. So you can vent once or twice, practitioners only once. But the lay people, a couple of times, okay? But you become aware that you are literally, vibrationally, emotionally rehearsing the very things you don't want to happen. And so you vent, and then you begin to move yourself into a position through your sacred prayer, through your sacred meditation, through your high conversation, through your study, through your fellowship of creating a vibrational match to the very thing you wish to experience. You begin to say to yourself, oh, the presence of God is for me. Everything I can want, hope for, and desire, I've already got. Life is for me. There is nothing against me. You use the same energy that you had when you were venting. You know, the same energy you had when you were venting about something, use that same energy and say, all of my needs are met. Everything is working together for my good. I can't wait to see the good that's trying to happen in my life. Oh my God, something is happening. You begin to live at that level. Now, this does not mean that you are denying the thoughts or the moods that are coming up. You're not denying that there's sadness there. You're not denying that there's fear there. You're not denying that a mood is coming or going. But after a while, it's just content, you see. Turn it into a poem. It's content. Turn it into a movie. It's content. Turn it into a novel. But you don't have to live it all the time. You see, you can become aware of it. Now, it is simple, but it's not easy. Because individuals have become addicted to the toxicity. They become addicted to being right. They become addicted to the narrow point of view and the toxicity that moves through the body temple, and they think, I have drama, therefore I'm alive. No. As I mentioned last week, if you want some drama, just go to the movies and watch it on the screen. Get it all out of you viscerally, and then walk out and get yourself some water and clean yourself off. But anyway, take a breath here. Release. Everybody who can, please stand. If you can stand up, please do so. Move that body temple around a little bit. Just kind of give your body permission to be young and flexible and you know. Just now, put your hands up. We love to do this. Put your hands up. Woo. And just say with me right now, I'm so available. I'm so receptive to more good than I can imagine. I'm so available. I'm so receptive to more peace, more love, more prosperity, more joy, more wealth, more creativity. It's flowing through me right now. I am available. I'm receptive. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. Somebody scream about it. Woo, woo. I want you to keep standing for just a moment. I want you to hear this. We're growing to be gracious to receive. Now, as you're standing, stand with a sense of confidence. You're about to walk into the bank of consciousness as billionaires, okay? Just like billionaire in consciousness. Back is straight. You're erect. Your check is not gonna bounce. You see, it's like God has given you everything. Just stand with that kind of confidence within you. Say, I'm not shy. I'm not shy. I'm living for excellence. I'm not shy. I represent God. I'm not shy. I represent beauty. I'm not shy. I represent intelligence, excellence, elegance, absolute joy. I'm not shy. I represent God. Somebody scream about it. Feel it in your bones. Just breathe with me, like just breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Sustain the breath right to the apex, right there. But feel the celebration. Feel the joy that wants to emerge. Just feel it in your being as you're sustaining that breath and allowing your body temple and the subtle bodies to cohere around that thought of excellence and celebration. So there becomes a vibrational match. You don't have to be cool. This is not the time to be cool. This is the time to set yourself free. Release. You be so cool, you'll send yourself to hell. Hell is stagnation. Man, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool. I got this. I'm cool. No, you don't want to be cool. In, breathe. Release. Breathe in. Release. Breathe in. Sustain. As you're sustaining that breath, hear that you're surrounded by a presence that's never an absence. Here, you're not an accident. You're on purpose with a purpose. Here, everything you can want, hope for, and desire is already within you. Here, life is for you and nothing is against you. Release. Repeat after me. I'm available to more good than I can imagine. And it's happening right now. Now, hear what I said today. We are growing in our receptivity. We're becoming gracious enough to receive. Here, you are moving from boredom to Moredom, becoming more yourself. You wake up and you're saying in substance, I'm willing to be more of myself. The issues that I am facing are calling for me to be more me, not just to solve a problem, because problems don't exist in the mind of God at all. They don't exist. If a problem existed in the mind of God, you could never solve it. It would be eternal. The only thing that exists in the mind of God is inspired thoughts of more good than you can possibly imagine. So problems dissolve in expanded awareness. I want to be more me. Say it. I want to be more me. And then you become aware that out of no thing at all, but an idea and a strong feeling, tone, and intentionality, the invisible takes form. So no malpractice. No, my good is coming from that person. No, your good might be coming through that person, but it's coming from God. And so your awareness is on the invisible. Say it with me right now. I can see the invisible. I can hear the inaudible. And I can do what the world calls is impossible. Somebody scream about that. Third point of the day, watch what you are emotionally rehearsing. You get to vent, get it out. Oh, I'm so mad that happened. Oh, they shouldn't have. And they did it. You do the lines of breath. Get it out. And then you rehearse something else. I am safe and secure in the infinite, Everything is working together for my good. Life is on my side. All needs are met. You begin to rehearse a different frequency. The water of which you are over 80% of begins to be imprinted with your high conversation. And it begins to flow through all of the cells, what you're saying to yourself over and over and over again, until there is a dynamic of you rising up with great integrity. Integrity means you are integrated with your soul, and that the fullness of life gets to flow through you. Watch what you are rehearsing over and over and over again, because you are evoking a law that will ultimately be no respecter of persons. The law is not going to say, well, you know, he's a good person, so he doesn't really mean what he's thinking. Doesn't really mean what he's vibrationally. No, it doesn't matter whether he means it or not. The law is the law is the law. It doesn't matter if you're a good person. You stick your finger in an electrical socket, you're going to be shocked, baby. So listen, you want to be shocked and amazed by the presence of God. You may take your seat. You may sit down, and you may feel this presence. Now take a deep inhalation here. No shallow breathing right now. Inhale. And notice this. Not one of you, maybe one, thought if we all take a breath at the same time, it's not going to be enough air. I don't know. Let me get mine first. Let me get mine before the big guy gets his. No, you didn't think that. You realize, there's enough oxygen and hydrogen. Okay, there's enough of everything. Everything. We just have a narrow point of view and thought forms around scarcity and lack that makes us act greedy and stingy and ambitious, and that limited thought form, it makes us move into our lower nature. But when you realize that energy cannot be created or destroyed, that in this quantum field, as it states in the Bhagavad Gita, you take abundance from abundance, abundance still remains. You cannot in any way inhibit or diminish the good that's everywhere. You can swim in it, you can participate in it, you can let it flow through you, you can allow for it to reveal your unique nature, but you can't diminish it. So you have to walk in the awareness. Woo, I'm living, moving, having my presence, having my being in the presence of God. And then you add one little tiny factor that will save you a lot of grief. Mind your own business. I know many of you grew up in the whole social, the social media vibe and reality shows. You think everybody's business is your business. It's not. Your business is your business. Tend to your business, and you won't have any other time to be anybody else's. You will not. Breath, release. Your soul is smiling. Let it inform your face right now. Just let that happen. As we're willing to become more ourselves, the conditions that we think are defining us, blocking us, hindering us, it's all vibration that has condensed itself, ultimately have no power over us. Because the one power that we call the presence of God is the only power that there is. There's nothing opposite to that power. There's nothing equal to that power. That power is infinite, everywhere present in its totality. And we get to give vent to it. We get to allow it. Through our graciousness, we receive and circulate it so that life becomes an ever-increasing spiral of expanded awareness. Heaven on earth. Whew. Don't hesitate. Heaven on earth now. Don't wait. Heaven on earth now. Don't delay. Heaven on earth now. Sound effects, I can't. Sometimes the body has to take over, you know. Woo! Woo! Oh! Just make whatever sound you got to make. Woo! 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 I hear you. Woo! 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 Now, let's go in. Take a breath. Release. Inhale. Release. Inhale. Sustain. Feel the inward celebration. You're localizing the cosmic celebration. Release. Two eyes closed, one eye open. Close the two eyes, but you allow for the third eye to open. And all you do is you just imagine that you can see through the third eye, the place right between your eyes. Just imagine, just use your imagination. So you begin to open yourself up to intuition and right discernment. Because something within you is crying out for expression. So we turn within in this moment. Turning within means we're turning away from conditions, away from circumstances and situations. So many people are so mired in the circumstance that they forget the source. Come home. Come upstairs with me right now. Come on, just give yourself permission to come on. Dr. Homer Johnson used to say, come upstairs. Great mystic. Come with me, come. Come upstairs, come upstairs, come. Come on, come on, come on, come. Come with me. Come upstairs. And begin to enter into the field of thanksgiving. I'm so grateful. Come on upstairs and be in the feeling tone of gratitude. The surface mind may be saying, what about this? What about that? What about this? No. Don't let it. Take back your mind. Take it back. Come upstairs with me right now. Don't look over the balcony. I'm not talking literally with the people in the balcony. I'm talking about in our consciousness. Don't look back and don't look down. Come. And we begin to recognize the presence. Closer than our breathing, Reverend Joanne Coleman. Nearer than our hands and feet. What does the Quran say? It's closer than our neck vein. Agape Gita reminds us that you know, it's everywhere. Fire burns it not. Wind blows it not. It's everywhere. Everywhere. And it's in this awareness that the word is spoken as a vibration, it's a frequency of the Most High. And I have the privilege of announcing and declaring and decreeing the absolute truth of our being here this morning. That every organ, every action, function of our body temple is made every whit whole because there's an intrinsic wholeness. A holiness about us. Every cell is now vibrating with a harmony. All of our bodies, all of our subtle bodies are now coming into an alignment with the divine celestial body. If we've heard one thing today that we can practice, we take that on. It's an opening to more good than we could possibly imagine. Mental body clear, emotional body pure, body of our affairs reflecting and revealing the elegance and the order of the Most High God within us. Everything working together for our good. Say with me right now, all of my needs are met. I feel it in my bones. This is where I live. We stand in this awareness. I want you to feel this. Marianne, help them feel it. Help them feel it for a moment.
Come, come before the altar and sacrifice your fears. Just leave them on the table for the one who's always nearer than your hands and feet. Your breathing, it carries you, works for you. She loves you no matter who you are or what you've done or how far you seem to be from the love that sets your spirit free. We're in the age where we know the future is now. This is the day, this is the time to recognize your world is life divine. You're the present of your past, surrendered at last.
Feel into that. Feel into that. Feel into it. Marianne, give him a little tiny taste more.
There comes a day, there comes a time when you've got to leave your pain behind. There comes a moment when you say, I guess I'm okay. Yes. There is a life calling you. Just look inside and find what you must do. I realize I'm not my past. I'm surrendered at last. I feel the lightness of the day when I let my sadness wash away. I feel it's time to make my way, surrounded in peace. Yes, the key to life's unending flow is just how much you're willing to let go of that which binds you to the past. Surrender at last.
Yes. Please take the hand of the being next to you and feel the power of a prayer vortex. Prayer is not begging. Prayer is coming into an alignment and having a realization of what's intrinsic about us, what's real about us, and setting it free, having a realization of that. So all the individuals that I named on the prayer list at the earlier service, all of that prayer is still vibrating right now. It's eternal. And if you're holding anyone in prayer right now, be aware that it's difficult to worry and to pray and love the individual at the same time. Those are different frequencies. So if you're holding someone in prayer, just feel how much you love them and care about them. And just let the prayer be that the presence of God is right where they are. That wholeness is there, that wellness is there, well-being and prosperity and vitality and vigor. Right there, it's right there, it's right there. Feel it in your being. It's non-local. Prayer is non-local. We're not sending prayer around the world. It's a non-local event. We're already there in consciousness. And so we give. What do? We give thanks. We give thanks that what? That it's already done. It's done. It's happening. It's happening right now. It's instant. The body temple is responding. Endorphins are flowing through the body temple. The immune system is expanding. Tonic chemicals are flowing. There's a brain coherence. It's happening now. And as we sustain this, the very conditions of our life shift. now. When? 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 It's happening right now. And for this, we sustain ourselves in thanksgiving, appreciation, and we allow it to be so. That's why we say, and so it is, and so I am, and so we are. Amen. Ashe. Amen. Hallelujah. Mm, 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 mm. Bring your hands together for just a moment as the ushers come forward and just come to just a second of pure silence and stillness. Just let yourself be quiet for just a moment. And just yourself remember anything that was spoken that you can practice this week. It'll be different for everyone. Some people need to stop rehearsing what they don't want. Some people need to stop looking outside themselves for their good. They realize it's there already, invisible. Some people need to say, I'm willing to be more me. Some people need to grow in their receptivity. Whatever it is, make a vow to yourself that you'll practice this week. Practice, 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 practice. It's not that practice makes perfect. It's the practice of perfection that makes perfect. You see? So you wait, I better stop. Some people are practicing what they practice and what they don't want.